Hello and welcome to Between the Streams. My name's Jay and this is the show where we ask the most important questions to your favorite streamers and content creators to find out who they really are. Today's guest is an amazing content creator who runs, in his own words, a daytime talk show stream, chatting, playing games like DayZ, Elden Ring, and even doing charity events. He's a full-time streamer and one of my favorite channels that I've found recently, justSpike. How are you doing today, my man?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, I'm so happy to have you here. I've been looking forward to this one.
Yeah, well, I should say alive and breathing. I think is the proper response.
Proper response. Well,
yeah.
A couple of guidelines for you before we get started. Number one, you can answer the questions as your IRL self or your internet persona if those are two different people. That's up to you. Number two, you don't have to give out any information you don't want. We're not trying to dox you. We don't want your address.
Yeah.
Number three, you can skip any question that you want if something brings up past trauma or is just generally difficult to answer. Say skip, we'll pass right by it. And four, answer with as much or as little detail as you wish. Yes and no are acceptable answers. The Declaration of Independence is an acceptable answer.
For sure. Well, I appreciate those ground rules there.
Well, if you're ready to get started, we can jump right into question number one.
Absolutely.
All right. So we already touched on this, but what's your name?
It's just Spike is what I go by on the internet. So a lot of people call me Spike, but Matt is the first name. So depends. I mean, some people, you know, as you get to know each other, you kind of break that barrier, and it kind of feels a little more personal when you jump into first names and whatnot. But yeah, so yeah. Mostly go by Spike. I've met up with quite a few people that I've met via Twitch, and since it is such a simple name, it's just like one syllable. A lot of people still just like call me Spike, anyways, even though I've like met them multiple times in real life, like gotten lunch or dinner with them or drinks or whatever, and it's still just Spike. I think I had a dinner with Pizza Guy, if you are familiar, once out in LA, and he actually, his mind was blown after like 3 hours. I like kind of dropped the fact that my name was Matt, and he like stopped and looked at me. He's like, you're fucking kidding me, right? Like, yeah. I actually thought your name was Spike. Like, what? So
yeah, I definitely feel you there. Like, everybody that I know online calls me Jay.
Yeah.
Except for my wife. We spend a lot of time in the same chat rooms, and she always calls me John.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's where Jay comes from. But I mean, people that I've known for years now, they call me Jay.
Yeah. No, I was curious, but I mean, yeah, it's simple and to the point, and I mean, it's like easy for you to grab onto too. It's not like 1 2 3 butts 69, like, you know, like oh hey butts. It's like, no, I kind of don't not in public, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Those old school Xbox 360 gamer tags.
Exactly.
What's up, XX Firestalk XX?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, it's classic. I think what Epic is doing that now, where they kind of, if you had Rocket League before they purchased it, you kind of have to create this like pseudo Epic account, and I think mine's like, you know, giant hippopotamus or something weird like that. I don't know. It's like super weird. Like anytime somebody's like, oh, we need to like add through Epic, I'm like, what the hell is this name?
Yeah, no. All these different adding. There needs just to be an online friend ad thing for all the fucking launchers that are out there.
No, man. Anytime a game is not on Steam, I'm just like, all right, what kind of launcher do we got here? What kind of hoops do we got to jump through? And then like 2 years down the road, they integrate with Steam anyways. Yeah. Like most games end up there. So,
well, let's move right along to question number two, just to let everybody know, what is it that you do?
Too much, probably. Well, at least just in the you know, career side of things, you know, for the last 10 to 12 years, I've been a full-time audio engineer, which has kind of turned also into video engineering, you know, a bit of lighting design, but more just knowledge of lighting, less lighting design, like actually operating a lighting console to run lights for a show. Not my bag, really. But just kind of a jack of all trades in production, is what I've been doing for a really long time, which flows hand in hand with live streaming and everything. It's kind of why streaming became a hobby so quickly for me, because I've always been a video gamer. And, you know, like 7 years ago, I was just like, well, I mean, if I'm playing the games and I enjoy, you know, working with cameras and microphones and this and that, like, why not, you know, maybe have a conversation with some people while I'm playing games. So, that's been the full-time gig for a long time. And with COVID, that whole industry kind of shut down, and it gave me, being on, I was, W-2 with the company I was working with, which allowed me to go on unemployment for a little while, the industry, we were kind of just touch and go, trying to feel out when it was going to come back. So it gave me a lot of time to really focus on streaming. And since then, it's become more and more streaming focused in my life and less production focused. As of January this year, I decided to go part-time with production work and full-time with streaming. So a lot of my time is focused on the stream. I have said this a few times in recent months that I probably spend too much time thinking about the stream. It's like, it's what I love to do. It's my everyday, people are always like, oh, so what are your hobbies outside of streaming? And it's like, well, just making streaming better, making my stream better, messing with stuff, seeing what boundaries I can push, and how far I can take things, and, trying to just keep things unique. And I'm the, type of person that I'm never happy with what I'm doing. I always, appreciate when I'm doing a good job, like, when something's successful, but I always know that there was this idea that was just a little step further in everything that I do. So I kind of, obsess with trying to make things better and better at all times. But a lot of time spent, on this stuff. And then I work, production events, more like 1 or 2 weekends a month now, rather than 6 days a week, like I was for a long time. So outside of that, spending time with my wife LJ and the cats, and binging shows and anime, and anything on anything new that comes out on Netflix, or we're kind of tail end of a Marvel watch through from the beginning of the timeline all the way through the MCU and everything. And just, I don't know, I do really enjoy also just like spending time outside with some headphones on, listening to some music, soaking in the sun. Like I like a lot of, just kind of to myself time as well. And just kind of trying to get my mind off of a lot of stresses in life too. I've been trying to be better about slowing down here and there. As I get older, you realize that you're like, dude, like, I mean, you're not like physically working, but you're also just like working on the stream, or doing this or doing that, or, trying to play games with people, or like, it's like, I need to just sometimes. So,
oh yeah.
That's been a big thing lately. And also, recently I'm going on week 5 of going to the gym consistently, which is a first in my life. I for years doing production, it's kind of a natural workout, loading and unloading trucks and setting up large PAs and wrapping cables and unwrapping them and working long days. And ever since I've gone part-time on that, I kind of became a bit of a wet noodle as far as the muscles went in my body. I'd just sit in this chair all the time. So I've been trying to get some motivation doing that. So that's pretty much like most of what I would say that I do on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. Well, congrats on, you said week 5 of going to the gym?
Yeah. It's
congrats on that.
Thank you, man. It's been something I've always wanted to do, but there's a 0% chance of me doing that without somebody else holding me accountable. And that's like kind of just how I am in my whole life. So I've been really lucky that one of my longtime friends and mods for my stream lives right down the street from me. And he's been going to the gym for, I don't know, like 10 years straight, literally. Like, that's just his thing. He always does it, goes every day, barely takes rest days. It's just like what he does to, stay active in the morning and everything. And I just was like, you know what? Like, my wife is really good about working out as well. And we have all this gym equipment in the basement, but I'm just like, she works out in the evening and I have no motivation in the evening. I'm a total morning person, and which is, everybody gives me shit about, but I don't know what happened to me. But as I got older, I'm just like, I like 5 a.m. to like 9 a.m. is like my favorite time of day. But yeah, having him to show me the ropes and keep me motivated, and just like, somebody that would be like, hey dude, like, you didn't get to the gym today. And I'm just like soul crushing, like, oh God, my anxiety, like, oh shit. So it's like, it just keeps me accountable. Like, I'm just like, all right, I'm there every day because there's somebody that's like counting on me being there. So.
Oh yeah, it's always good to have somebody who helps push you along. And I will say, it is very reassuring to see somebody who is a professional in the audio industry using the same mic that I do. It makes me feel like I made the right choice. So.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. The Rode Pod mic. Shout out to Rode, sponsor me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, and Jay.
Just throw some around here.
Yeah. But this for $100, dude. I could get a SM7B. I would, at all intents and purposes, prefer that. At the end of the day, I probably could get it sound a little better. It's a little bit more of a full sound. It's a great microphone, and it's what everybody goes to, but it's $400, and I have so many other peripherals and so many other things that I can make, so much more use of than like slightly improving my mic sound. And yeah, like $100, this thing's great, and I already have a nice audio mixer where I can put a little compression EQ on it, nice little noise gate if necessary. So yeah, this mic I recommend it to a lot of people that are like, so what should I get as far as an XLR mic? It's like, this thing is great.
Yeah, with the research that I did into it, you can spend $400 or you can spend $100 on the Rode Pod mic and have a really good sounding dynamic microphone. Or you can spend $400 on the SM7B and have to put in just a little less work to make it sound really good. That to me, that's the only difference is the amount of work you have to put in. And really, it's like, 15 minutes of throwing on some filters?
Yeah, exactly, man. And I mean, you do have like a little presence booster physically on the microphone with the 7B. And yeah, it does come out just flat out of the microphone. It's got a little more presence to it, and gives you a little more of that radio voice. But yeah, it's like there's a minimal amount of EQ to make this thing sound good, and I get compliments all the time, so can't complain.
Yeah, same. Well, let's shoot on along. By the way, these first 4 questions, they're just kind of softballs just to get the juices flowing. Doesn't seem like you really need that, but just to shoot on through them.
Yeah, no worries.
Question 3: where are you from?
I'm from like the Chicagoland area. Is kind of pretty much where I throw it out there. I've always been, within 45 minutes of Chicago my entire life. Always in the suburbs somewhere, depending on where our families lived. So yeah, I've moved into Indiana, recently because taxes are cheaper, but it's still relatively, if you're in some other faraway part of the country or on the other side of the world traveling or something, it's like, Chicago, like, everybody knows it, but I know it's somebody from the Chicagoland area, I know that if I'm in Chicago, I can't say that because Chicago is Chicago. And if you live in Chicago, you live in Chicago. If you don't live in Chicago, like that's a sin to say that. So I'm not truly from Chicago, because a lot of people take their pride in being north side, south side, inner city. And it's a whole different world. I know a lot of people that live up there, and I wish I could, but it's just not affordable. The taxes are wild, and I don't know. It's just busy. I do like having the quiet, time out here. It's birds chirping, trees and everything. So, a little more relaxing.
I think that's true for most big cities. So, like, I'm not now. I don't live there now, but I tell everyone I'm from New Orleans.
Yeah.
But if I talk to somebody who's actually from New Orleans, then I'm from the West Bank. Mm-hmm. It's 2 completely different things. You cannot claim to be from New Orleans to someone who's from New Orleans. If you grew up on the West Bank. So
okay.
But yeah, for all intents and purposes, I grew up, born and raised 30 minutes outside of New Orleans. What's considered the greater New Orleans area. Mm-hmm. But I mean, and to anybody else, they won't know my hometown. I'm from a small city called Oswego. It's literally 1 square mile.
Yeah.
It's so much easier for me to just say I'm from New Orleans.
Yeah, exactly. And half the time you don't need to break it down that far anyways if you're talking internet people and, try not to dox yourself and everything anyways, so easy enough.
To anybody who's from there, West Bank, best bank, we all know it.
There we go. Represent.
All right, so skipping to the last of our softball questions for now. There's a couple more coming up, but vanilla or chocolate?
Vanilla all day.
Ooh, straight answer. I like it.
yeah. Chocolate, I do like, but I don't know that I can put my finger on exactly what it is. But certain chocolates, and we're talking more like flavors. I'm sure like vanilla or chocolate, like ice cream or things like that. But like certain chocolates, like chocolate candies and stuff like that, fudges and everything, I actually get like a weird blood sugar reaction from it, and I get like super lightheaded. But like some chocolates I could just max out on. I haven't like found exactly what it is. Maybe it's just like I didn't have enough like water or food that day, and it just kind of throws me off. But yeah, I generally don't dive too far into chocolate. And I've also been trying to push through this chocolate protein shake that I had to commit to. for the gym, I had to finish it off because I spent the money on it, but it was terrible. And I just finally got a vanilla one, and it's amazing. So I'm just like, yeah, like straight answer, like a vanilla all day right now. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. So question number 5. What is something that you've done that you're proud of?
Well, there's quite a few, I'm sure that I could come up with, but like honestly, not even cop out. Like I absolutely am so proud of this community's support, and I know that like a lot of people are like, well, you're the head of the community, like this is you, and it's like it's not me. It's like but I know I helped create a community that is so supportive towards like charity streams and the events that I put on. I'd say that's something that I definitely take pride in, just in my life in general. Like not even, I wouldn't even say it. I'd say that to somebody who like doesn't know anything about content creation or anything. Like I'd explain it to them, break it down, and be like, that's what I'm proud of. It blows me away all the time. What our small community is able, the impact our small community is able to have, with regards to those kinds of events that I put on. Absolutely.
You just had a charity stream, day before yesterday?
Yeah, it's Sunday now, so we had it. Yeah, on Friday it was a 12-hour charity stream. I think it went 13 hours, so it was wild. But
I was able to lurk for some of it, and I mean, you seem to have some really good success. So
yeah, we raised
amazing
$8,022 out of a $7,500 goal that we were shooting for. So
wow,
yeah,
that is amazing, dude. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
All right, question 6. How many siblings do you have, if any?
I have one older sister, and she lives out in California now. As of about 2 years ago, she's working in wine country out there and absolutely killing it. It's been something she's is kind of a bit of a career shift for her, and she's doing a really good job with it. And I'm super excited about what she's got going on. So yeah, just the one though. Just me and my sister.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. All right, question 7. Assuming the answer on this, but I'll let you go with it. Question 7 is, have you ever been in love?
Yes, absolutely. My wife and I have been together for 15 years, going on 16 years, and we've been married for about 7.5 years now. Madly in love with her. She's the best.
Question 8, probably my favorite question just because of the answers that we get. What is the drunkest you've ever been?
Oh, for sure, my 21st birthday. Like 100%. I've been in that realm, that ballpark since then, but that was the one bender that I went on that I had no control over. All my friends, growing up, me and my sister's 2 years older than me, and we were both a little bit of troublemakers as far as like just our friend groups, and maybe smoke a little pot, maybe we'll drinking a bit underage. But our parents were very like, they know we're gonna do it anyways, and they know we're gonna find somebody's house to do it at, and they'd rather us just have some people over and everybody stay the night and know that we're safe, kind of thing. So we had a pretty large kind of rowdy group of friends that we would hang with, every once in a while at our house. And that large group came out hard for my 21st birthday. And I remember we pre-gamed at my house in my parents' garage. I don't know. It had to be like maybe like 6 or 7 p.m. Had a few beers, whatever. And then we were all planning to go out to a bar. And I'm, about 4 months older than my wife, so she wasn't 21. She was working that evening, and she was gonna get off work and actually just come and like hang out and then like DD for us and like kind of cart everybody home, which was super cool of her. And I remember she got to the bar at like 8:30, and I was just like, they were pretty much kicking me out of the bar. Like I was just had no self-control over myself. I was just laughing. Like apparently I was just giggling and laughing. I just was like, I just couldn't handle myself, and was like out front in front of the place. She like carried me to her car and drove me home. But it was like the kind of thing where all your friends just buy you like an appletini and a mudslide and like this beer and 3 Wiseman. And it's like, so here's like 30 different alcohols. Good luck, dude. And I've always been 155 pounds soaking wet, tall, lanky, like no meat on my bones. Like I have a metabolism that's just way too fast. So I just like digested it all. And I woke up at about I remember I like our house, we kind of a longer driveway, and you go in through the garage door like into the interior of the house, and there's a bathroom right there right as you walk in, and I ended up just praying to the porcelain gods, like just wrapped around that toilet. And I remember my dad and his buddy were like walking outside when we pulled up, and they like were just laughing, carrying me inside. And they knew I was all right. I'm sure they checked on me. I don't remember any of it, but I definitely woke up on the second floor, half in the bathroom that was like connected to my room, and half out, covered in the throw rug that was in my room, and just covered in puke.
Oh,
like it was bad, and I have no idea how I got there. And I remember walking downstairs to the kitchen to get a glass of water, just like, bro, just bleary eyed. And my mom just looks at me and she goes, you could go back to sleep. And I just went back upstairs, slept for another like 6 hours probably. But it's the only time I've ever blacked out. I have no idea how I got from that bathroom downstairs to upstairs, like just zero recollection of that. And I don't like being that drunk at all, but 21st birthday is the 21st birthday, so that is officially the hardest I've ever gone, for sure.
Yeah, mine, I got fairly drunk on my 21st, but that wasn't the drunkest. And I've told this story on here before, so I'll kind of speed run through it. Mine was my wedding night.
Okay.
So I didn't meet my wife's dad until the day before we got married.
Ooh, yeah.
And he's old school Southern. And he took revenge on that because we had our our reception at the bar that he worked at.
Oh no!
After we got married,
yeah.
Over the course, like we got there about 1. We left at 4:30. Over the course of that time, I was fed the better part of 30 shots, like 15 beers. It just
so he just wanted to see what you were made of.
Yeah, he was testing
old
me.
School Southern type of thing. Yeah.
And that, I don't know. I still to this day don't know if I've passed that test. We've been married for over 13 years now, and you can't read that, man.
Oh, man.
But like, it was the point where my wife, who does not drive due to anxiety issues, she drove us to her friend's house to stay the night.
Oh, wow.
Like 5-6 miles away. And I don't remember the car ride. I don't remember leaving the bar. I don't remember showing up. I remember waking up 10:30 at night and downing 3 32-ounce glasses of water back to back.
Yeah. That's like the only thing you could do in that situation, man.
Yeah.
Holy. Yeah, it sounds like a rough one for sure.
Oh, it was a wild one. All right. Well, let's move on to question 9, which you kind of already touched on, but we're going to ask it anyways.
Yep.
Day or night?
Definitely morning, so day, but yeah, I enjoy that like early morning sunshine, sitting outside or even just around the house, just like kind of, again, it's like a good time to chill and be with myself and my own thoughts. And I'm usually actually really productive early in the morning. Lately it's been the gym, but like even before then, I'd get a lot of new little things created for the stream or content out and whatnot, because I start streaming at 9 a.m. And I stream usually from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central Time. So I'm just already like just a daytime streamer anyways. And I do like nighttime and everything. I just like, as I get older, for whatever reason, I mean, I'm sure it's because I'm waking up earlier and earlier, but I've just always been like wound down, or all the anxiety of the day has just gotten to my head and just kind of clouds my brain on, I try to do evening streams and I'm usually just like not into it. I can't put my whole self into it. So, yeah. And I have so much energy in the morning. So definitely daytime morning person these days.
Going to question 10, the halfway point of our series. What is your favorite color?
It's a tough one. 'Cause I feel like it's a bit situational. It's more like color palettes and whatnot, but I do really like deep aqua kind of color, like a teal. I like that a lot.
Okay.
If I was going for like pinpointing a favorite.
That's a nice color. All right. Passing through that halfway point with 11, who is someone who has inspired you?
I'd definitely say my mom has been a really big inspiration for me in my life, for sure. Definitely one of the biggest. I don't know that I'd be able to pinpoint anybody else in particular. I mean, definitely my dad as well, as far as just like straight up work ethic goes, and just like in both me and my sister, we've followed his footsteps as far as being able to just like have a drive to get shit done. But yeah, definitely my mom as far as inspiration into just creativity and loving life and people and, being kind to others and things like that along those lines. So.
Okay. Question number 12. What is your most prized possession?
Ooh, that's tough. It's definitely a tough one. Shit. I don't know if I could pinpoint one specific thing. I've never been the most like, I don't know. I get rid of a lot of things. My wife and I are both the same way. We don't keep a lot of things. Kind of try to keep a light load on like clutter and stuff like that. So I've never had like the most, like holding on to, collecting things or like sentimental items and stuff. But I have some gifts from my first cousin once removed, who is also Detective Bumblebee, who is a mod in my chat. So a lot of my family has, like in the last year and a half, become a bigger and bigger part of my stream and just the community in general. I've always been close to my family, but we've drawn much, much closer in the last year and a half or so. And a lot of it's kind of through streaming and through me being live, especially, during the pandemic, we couldn't see each other a lot. So they would jump in the stream a lot. And sometimes I just like to default to cousin, but it's first cousin once removed is technically my cousin's daughter. So B is 16 years old, and she's kind of come into this community like a whirlwind. She's like one of the best mods amongst a bunch of our streamers and stuff, and she's written a couple poems and done some artwork and stuff for me that actually you can kind of see. I know the viewers won't be able to see it, but there's some really cool things that she's put together for me. I've been struggling a lot through a lot of grief and everything. My mom passed away just about a year ago in 2 days, and she's helped me a lot. I've seen a lot of my mom in her as far as just like her creativity and love for people, and but also just like standing up for what she believes in at all times. It's kind of wild. So if I was to like drive into something like that, like some of my favorite things that I have would definitely be some of the stuff from her. And I do a few things from my mom as well that I definitely more prized possessions. Yeah, I'd say that would be the answer.
That's awesome. So question 13, and there's a little clarification here, but we'll get to that. So question 13 is beach vacation or camping trip. And the clarification is both of those don't necessarily mean roughing it on the ground, whether you're in a tent or on a beach towel or something. So camping trip could mean an RV, a cabin in the mountains, something like that. Beach vacation, same thing, a beach house with a boat dock, all the jazz. So
yeah.
Which one would you prefer?
I would say, I love a good beach vacation. I mean, who doesn't, right? As far as, just like, let's just get out there. Let's just like drink during the day and just like hang out on the beach and just relax and nothing matters kind of thing. And maybe you get out on some adventures here and there around the area, depending where you're at. But yeah, I do love that. So don't get me wrong. But my wife and I really like to, like, we took our honeymoon in New Zealand. We got married in the winter on purpose so that we could honeymoon in New Zealand summer. And it worked out because you get a lot of discounts in the winter on weddings, because nobody wants to get married in the winter. So you get little catering discounts and this, that, and the other. And it helped us save money up for that. But we, rented a car and we were in a different Airbnb or hotel almost every night for 18 days on the North Island and the South Island of New Zealand. And we like hiking, glacier climbing, helicopter tours. We were in underground caves with glowworms, like everything and anything we could possibly do. We did, and so it's like that kind of thing is so much more important to us, just to experience things. And, we did London and Belgium as well. a few years back, just before the pandemic, and just like explore as much as possible. It's not quite like hiking or beach, but it's a lot of city exploration, but it's still just like kind of getting to know an area and exploring, the nitty gritty, do a lot of research on like the off the beaten path fun things to do, rather than more mainstream things that you'd find. So
yeah,
that's definitely the answer there.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you there, because the reason I raised my hand was because I hate the beach with a passion. It's not for me. I'd rather I would literally rather go and sleep in a hammock in the woods rather than go to the fucking sand.
Fair enough. Not for everybody.
But like you said, I'm definitely all for, like, if you go to a new city, new state, new country, I'd rather go find the hole in the wall bars and restaurants where like the locals eat than go to some, large, well-known restaurant like that. That's where you find the good food, the real local food. Yeah,
no, I feel you on that for sure. You gotta do the research ahead of time, otherwise you just kind of end up at like whatever you can find on the corner or the mainstream little bites to eat. So
right. All right. Well, question 14. Another small clarification here too. But if you could time travel, where would you go? And the clarification is, the time machine takes care of all your sanitary needs, so showers, food, sleeping quarters, all that stuff. It also handles all paradoxes, chaos theory. You can't actually change the timelines. You can only experience it. So you can't go back and kill Hitler.
Okay.
And you can't go to the future with, stock market options and shit like that. So
sure. Not necessarily benefiting anybody other than just the, experiencing something. It's almost as if you're just watching a play happen in real time.
Right. Gotcha. So as far as you want to go forward or backward, what is it?
I'd go into the future, man. I just want to know. where this takes us. What's life going to be like before I die, like whatever, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years into the future. I'd love to just like what do we have to look forward to? But then, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of years into the future, like what is that going to be, man? Like we're such a, like, humans are so young. Like we've been here for a blip and we've done so much, and our like technological curve is just exponential. We're just like accelerating through, just all these rapid iterations of technology. And I love that. But I feel like I just wish I was born like maybe 100 years later, just like where like, but also like then I'd probably live out my life wondering what it would be like in another 100 years. So, I am here for what I'm here for. But it would be really cool to see what the future's like. 'Cause I mean, going back in time, like history's history, it'd be cool to experience some things, but I'm not the biggest history buff. I appreciate that we need to learn from it, and look back and reflect. And I think we don't do that enough. But that's for another conversation. But I feel like I could, if I, all intents and purposes, the time machine to go back in time already exists in, the memories of humans and textbooks and things like that. Like, I'm sure there's little pockets of time that you'd be like, man, I mean, that never got written down. There's no good records of that. Yeah, like, sure, I'd love to truly see what like ancient Egypt was like, if you were just like stand there and be a fly on the wall, like to really see what's going on in ancient history. But the future I think would, blow my mind, and that'd be cool.
Yeah, the one thing that's been brought up in a previous episode that I would want to go back in time to see would be the Library of Alexandria.
Okay, yeah.
There was so much that was lost in the fire that only existed there. So like there's history and documents and literature that will never exist again.
That is a very, very good reason to go back in time. I can agree with that. Like I said, I'm not like the biggest history buff, so that wouldn't be the first thing to come to mind, but I 100% agree with that, though. That would be so cool.
But I'm definitely with you. I want to go see, 50 years, 100 years, maybe even 500 years in the future, just to see where technology is.
Yeah. Did we fuck it all up and just, and kill ourselves or did we finally come together and actually make this work for everybody?
Yeah. Are we in Cyberpunk 2077 or are we in fucking Fallout 4? Like,
exactly.
I don't know where we are.
Yeah.
All right. Question 15, 3/4 mark, and this is the only question on the list that has a correct answer. So, we'll see how you do here.
The pressure's on. Okay, I'm gonna sit up straight for this one.
All right, Spike. So, how do you like your steak cooked?
Oh, medium rare.
Ding, ding, ding.
All right, nailed it. Nailed it, dude. Nailed
On
it.
the head.
I can eat medium. Like I wouldn't be mad about it. Anything over that, I'm gonna get angry. Like, yeah, medium rare is the target that I'm shooting for. I am bad at cooking steaks. I've gotten better, but you know, I tend to either like it's just rare and blood's pouring out on the plate, or I've overcooked it. Like once in a while, you get it in the middle. At least this is for me. I need to work on it more, but when you nail that medium rare, it's like, oh.
Yeah, I will say that I know I've touched on this before, but I have a new set of guidelines for anybody who wants to learn how to cook a steak. Okay. There's a video on YouTube of Gordon Ramsay cooking a steak, and he tells you how to cook it perfectly. Don't use temp probes. Don't fucking do none of that shit. Follow his steps, step by step, by the book, and trust the process.
Okay.
And that's you will get a perfect steak every time. Because like I'm fairly good at cooking. I can get medium rare 95% of the time.
Okay.
But that's
I'm gonna look into Gordon Ramsay, but if that doesn't work out, I'm gonna look for the JStorm, 5-step program to the perfect steak. I'm gonna hit you up about that.
I need to make one.
Yeah, there we go. That's a TikTok.
Step number 1: a properly seasoned cast iron skillet.
I do have that, so I'm onto something there. So,
all right, well, let's get into some controversy with question number 16.
Okay,
iPhone or Android?
iPhone. I had Androids for quite a while, and it was definitely more early on in the Android universe, so it wasn't a great experience. HTC kind of phones and whatnot way back when, and they were okay, but it left a lot to be desired. I like the iPhone because I have an iPhone here, and I've got an iPad here. I've got my wife's hand-me-down MacBook from back in the day, and just like the ecosystem, I've got some AirPods and everything, and just transitioning amongst things, and it's more about the OS than the hardware, I would say. I know Samsung and Google Pixel and all those, they're all technically like, well, Samsung had it first and then iPhone did it, and it's like I get that, but the camera on this iPhone is great. I can use it for my stream, as a camera really easily. There's just compatibility things, that are so much better. With iPhone is kind of my argument with it. But if you're an Android person, whatever, that's fine. I'm not competing on it.
Yeah, I'm definitely, I lean more towards iPhone than I do anything else. But I will say one thing I've noticed is like, once you get into iPhone, I'm sorry, once you get an iPhone and then you buy anything else Apple produced, whether that be an iPad, AirPods, if you get any further into the Apple ecosystem, it makes it very hard to switch out of it. Very difficult. Yeah,
once you're in, you're in. I agree. They definitely they captivate you with like everything that you've got, and it's like, okay, well, I kind of want to go back to an Android, but now all my things that are synced up between all these other devices that I own gets weird, and your AirPods, I'm sure Bluetooth wise work, but then you lose all like the tap functions and weird things and Siri and all that. So
yeah, it's like I think I was resyncing some website to my Twitch account, and I just switched off of iPhone back to an Android because of my work phone, and I went to go sync up, and I had to go grab my wife's iPad from the other room in order to get the code from the 2-factor authentication.
Oh, no,
so I was just like, I'm so used to just sitting here, and it dings my phone. Okay, there we go.
Yep,
nope, I actually had to, fucking third world problems, I actually had to stand up and go to the other room like some fucking Neanderthal.
Imagine getting up and walking.
Right. This one I'm actually really interested to hear your answer for. So, question 17, top 3 video games of all time.
Oh, ooh, interesting. I'm gonna put World of Warcraft on there. I'm not into World of Warcraft anymore, and I haven't been for a long time, but I have to honorary mention that it sucked up a lot of my life, and the experiences I had back in Classic WoW and Burning Crusade for a bit, but mostly classic WoW when I was younger. I was in like top 3 raiding guild on my server, 40-man raids. I was like paladin class lead for a little while. It's just like, for being a bit younger, and like is kind of like my first real multiplayer experience on the internet. I was in a guild that actually was like, it's probably a bunch of dudes that are like my age now. Yeah. And then like I was like 13, 14, 15 years old at the time. And it was just like a super cool experience. And they were like totally chill, like, yeah, whatever. Like they didn't like, I'm like a little squeaker, and they didn't care. Like they were like, oh yeah, you're cool, whatever. Like, they would, I would hear about them doing meetups and stuff like that, but obviously I couldn't do that being too young, but
right.
It was definitely just like a cool gaming experience. When they got rid of 40-man raids, the guild kind of dissolved a bit, and I kind of lost interest in World of Warcraft. I bought almost every successive expansion since then and tried to relive that nostalgia, and it never works. So I've definitely kicked the bucket on that one at this point. But currently, I'm going to put DayZ on that list because it's a game that you can have just any kind of experience with, especially since they released 1.0 and you can mod it, and there's so many different experiences across different servers. You never know who you're going to meet. The banter you're going to have, the experience you're going to have is always different every time. So I even with all its bugs and how scuffed it can be sometimes, it's a fantastic game that I will always go back to. And I'll say for like a single player experience, I've only recently in the last few years become a fan of like single player games. I've always been a multiplayer guy. Mm-hmm. So I have so much more to experience, for sure. But I really loved, Detroit Become Human. That was a fantastic game for sure. I feel like there's something that's on the tip of my tongue that I played recently that I was like, oh my God, 10 out of 10 game. Because that's what it is. Dark Souls as well. Like the whole Dark Souls experience into Elden Ring. To be fair, I haven't finished Elden Ring yet, but that's just my streamer game ADD that kicked in. And I think I was playing Elden Ring, and actually somebody was like, hey, DayZ. And my brain was like, DayZ? and I literally played for 4 weeks straight on stream because the whole community like suddenly got involved. I've been playing it my whole not my whole life, but I've been playing it since like DayZ standalone came out, which was years and years and years ago at this point. And I've tried to play it on stream here and there over the years. I've been streaming for 7 years, and it never really catches on. Like people are there for it, the regulars are always there for it. You get some new people in, but it never really caught on. But then I started playing, a couple months ago, and the whole community was like, DayZ? And like we had like half the community on every day. We were just running together, getting into all kinds of weird situations, created a community server. So it just like took me away from Elden Ring. But I would definitely say, yeah, Dark Souls 3 was probably one of my favorite streaming experiences, I would say, as far as a single player game goes. I met a lot of really cool people that have, stuck with the community and just had a great time hating myself the whole time.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Question 18. Again, I don't know whether to call this the dumbest or silliest question, but it's on the list, so we ask it. Mm-hmm. Is cereal soup?
No, it's not broth based, not vegetable based. That's my argument to it.
Who said that soups have to be vegetable based?
Well, it's just some sort of broth, like meat, vegetables, anything it's milk. I don't know.
Milk comes from cows. Who says it's not broth?
Well, can we look up the definition of a broth?
Sure we can.
Broth definition. Soup consisting of meat or vegetable chunks and often rice cooked in stock. A liquid medium containing proteins and other nutrients for culture of bacteria. That does open it up, doesn't it?
That does bring it up to milk.
God, I don't know, man. It's look,
if you break soup down into its most basic description, it is stuff floating in liquid.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like go into Googling things, but I know I'm sure there's some dictionaries or something out there that it would confirm or deny. And like, do you go with that? Like, is that the end all? Is that the law?
Who
I feel like it
shit they
isn't.
read on the internet?
Oh yeah, right. Come on. Who believes shit you hear on a podcast? Come on. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna stick with my belief that it is not a soup, though you have a compelling argument. And I don't know that I have a lot more to it, but I just don't feel like it is. Like, I'm not a hot dog as a sandwich guy either. I don't think it's really a sandwich. I mean, it's a freaking hot dog,
Look,
like it's its own thing.
Just to let you know how far into the hot dog as a sandwich guy I am.
Yeah.
I believe tacos are sandwiches.
Oh no, dude.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know. I mean, is a burrito a sandwich then?
Yes, because so is a calzone.
Oh gosh. Okay. We're gonna let that one ride, I guess. I don't know. I can't get behind that. Taco's a taco, burrito's a burrito, hot dog's a hot dog, sandwich is a sandwich.
Okay, wait. Follow my logic on this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the definition of a sandwich is meat between bread.
Not necessarily though, because what if it's just a veggie sandwich?
I mean, yeah, you have a point there.
Mm-hmm.
But still, it is fixins, as my people would say.
Yeah.
Fixins, condiments in bread.
Sure.
In or on bread, because you do have open face sandwiches. So if you follow the train of thought to the fast food chain here in America, Subway, which they don't cut their bread all the way through, it's always attached on one side.
Yeah, it's a submarine sandwich.
Right. Which now that makes hot dogs sandwiches, because it's meat, condiments, fixins, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
In a half-cut piece of bread.
Do you have a like a hot dog joint that you go to? We got Portillo's up here, like beef sandwich hot dogs, stuff like that you regularly go to, or at least once in a while.
Not where I'm at now, but down in Montgomery, Alabama, where I used to live, there's a place called That's My Dog.
Yeah.
Amazing hot dogs. So
would you go in there and ask for a hot dog sandwich?
You can't, because a hot dog sandwich is a thing where I grew up.
Oh no. So what's a freaking hot dog in normal form if there's a hot dog sandwich defined?
It's still a type of sandwich. I mean, you're not going to change my mind on this.
I don't think I'm going to.
If there's a such thing as a hot dog sandwich, which is just hot dogs in bread, then
which
we've
all been there.
Right. So
Definitely.
a hot dog, which is a hot dog in bread, it's still a fucking sandwich to me.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna...
and to continue my thought process there, if folded bread or, mostly cut bread that's still attached is considered a sandwich, then tacos, which tortillas is a type of bread, it's a sandwich.
What about a hard shell taco? Is that still a sandwich?
Look, we don't talk about hard shell tacos. Fuck them little corn-based tortilla shit. No. We don't talk about those.
Okay. We're going to rule that one out.
Corn-based tortillas are the worst fucking invention that ever came out of
immediately
the Hispanic community.
Oh, man.
Use flour, you fucks.
I'm gonna, as the host, I'm gonna let you win this argument. I don't have enough compelling arguments to decide one way or the other. I'm gonna ride out with that. I can see a hot dog being a sandwich. I can pretty much agree with that. I get it. It's hard to argue that because you're correct in like the just split bread becomes this is what it is. I'm still not going to go into a Portillo's and ask for a hot dog sandwich. They would slap me just as much as they'd slap me if I asked for ketchup on it. But cereal being a soup, I have to disagree.
Yeah, but in your defense, Chicago is a very hot dog centric area.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you gotta have that Chicago style up here and get everything on it.
It'd be like going to New York and walking into Tony's Pizza and asking for some kind of stupid thing like, I don't know, deep dish.
Yeah, but, if you just walked in there and asked for New York style pizza in Chicago, they'd slap you for sure. And something I want to clear something up. We're on the topic of foods and people talking about Chicago pizza. So many people give it a bad rap from outside of Chicago because they think deep dish pizza is Chicago style pizza. Like that's the end all. Like, and everybody's like, oh, well, no, I don't like that. I want a freaking casserole. And it's like, dude, deep dish is a Chicago tradition, and it is, it's based in Chicago, came out of Chicago, and it's amazing. I don't want it every day.
Yeah.
Chicago style pizza cut into squares, toppings underneath the cheese. That's like Chicago style, man. Square cut, like it's so good. That's when if somebody comes to visit, from the Twitch community or something. I've met a lot of people over the years, and I've always taken them into Chicago. I always take them to like a Giordano's or Vito's and Nick's or a Palermo's or something, and I show them what Chicago pizza is. So
yeah,
I'll say New York style's good. Chicago's better.
I will say I am a fan of pizza.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much the end of that statement. I'm not huge on deep dish pizza. That's just a personal preference of mine.
Mm-hmm.
But pizza is pizza to me. If you have dough, cheese, sauce, I'm fucking happy.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'll eat Domino's. I'll eat Pizza Hut. I'll eat whatever. I don't want California Pizza Kitchens. That's where I draw my line. I don't know why. I've had that, and I just never had a great experience. But generally, yeah, pizza's pizza at the end of the day. The only pizza that I ever had that I just refused to eat was I had a pizza in New Zealand, and they put lamb meat on it, and I discovered that I don't like lamb. It was like the whole pizza, like every bite just tasted like lamb. It was just such an overpowering meat.
So not a Euro fan, huh?
I do like Euros. That's the weird part. I'm a big Euro fan. Like, I don't want them every day, but you like the tzatziki or ziki sauce or whatever they have on there.
Yeah.
Tzatziki's, yeah, fantastic. So I'm not like I hate lamb, but maybe it was just better in air quotes because you guys can't see me. Lamb out there because I know like they don't import that. They have a lot of livestock in New Zealand, and they keep that close. So it's I don't know. Maybe it's just a bit different, a bit more fresh and right there. But so it's only pizza I didn't want to eat, didn't finish.
Actually, other than deep dish, I can't think of a pizza that I've ever eaten that I didn't want to finish. Ooh,
yeah.
Side question, since we've we'll add on an extra question to the series since we've been talking about pizza, just to throw more controversy out there.
Yeah.
Does pineapple go on pizza?
Absolutely.
100%.
Yes. I'm a cooked pineapple kind of guy. I put it on my burgers all the time at home. Yeah. Pineapple on whatever you want to put it on. We just had tacos, taco sandwiches the other night, and with flour bread wrapped around them with pineapple.
Oh,
really good.
I'll tell you, there's a place nearby to me, a little sushi joint, and they have this Hawaii roll, which is the like fried shrimp wrapped up. It's got some other stuff inside of it, but on top of every one is a small chunk of pineapple with some like spicy sauce on top.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Woo. This is one of the greatest things I've ever eaten, man.
So I'm coming to, would you say it was the West Bank?
Oh, no, not that. That's where I grew up. Yeah, but
okay.
I live in central Alabama now.
Oh, got you. Okay.
Yeah. It's just really weird to have a good sushi joint right in the middle of my 14,000 person town.
Yeah, but, I mean, that's awesome, man.
It's amazing.
That's the one thing about where I moved from the area. Like, we lived in Illinois, we live in Indiana now, and where I moved, we're not far. We're only like 35 minutes, to the east of where we were. There's no restaurants out here, man. There's like nothing good. God. And we were just like, it was like mom and pop shops galore where I was, and just like all kinds of little great like hidden spots. And out here, it's like, there's a bunch of really good breweries, which is awesome. Like, there's a lot of breweries where I am, but they're all like, a big pretzel or pretzel nuggets, cheese curds, deep fried this, that, and some fat burgers, maybe a oven fried pizza here and there. And it's like, but there's not like really good unique places. It's all like the same food at a bunch of breweries with great beers, but having a hard time finding like good restaurants anymore.
And see, around me, it's like the opposite. Like, there's nowhere to go drink around me. Like, there's no breweries, no decent bars. There's a pool hall, but I don't think they've gotten their liquor license yet. They just opened recently. Yeah. But little mom and pop restaurants and like, family owned businesses and all over the place here. Like, there's your normal fast food joints, of course. If we've got McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, but there's also like just as many little mom and pop diners, and I fucking love it.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm definitely gonna, if I'm ever passing to that area, I'm gonna hit you up to make pass through that town.
Absolutely, man. All right. Well, going on to Question 19, our most serious question. So I hate to end on a bomb, but what's something that you want to leave behind when you're gone?
I just want to leave a good impression, man. I just want to change somebody's life for the better. And I think I'm on the right track for that. And I know I keep saying it, but it's true, and I believe it with like all my heart that like that is what my mom did. There's so many lives that she changed for the better, and so many people that reflect on what she taught them, and just the people that she brought together. She's always been the most welcoming human being that I've ever known, as far as just meeting new people and making them feel comfortable, and always bringing people together. And that's definitely what I want to do. I want to be able to bring people together to, you know, maybe make friends, new acquaintances, whatever it might be, and just have a, you know, that family feeling amongst each other, but also bring people together to, you know, help others. You know, I can only help so many people by myself, but a lot of us together can help a lot of people together. And I think that's what I'd like to leave behind, is kind of that idea, of helping others and being, you know, I don't know, true to yourself. Take care of yourself before you take others. Always. I've had to learn that, you know, to make sure that I have, you know, the time to take care of myself mentally in order to be able to be emotionally available for others and be able to help others. But definitely to have the mindset, of, you know, just don't be a fucking asshole, man. Holy shit. I've met some people in my life that it's like, how can you possibly be this dense? Like, I feel bad for you that this is what you believe, you know, and I'm not mad at them, truly. So many people are a product of just their life and their situation and where they grew up and the beliefs that they were surrounded by. And I get it. Generally, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt, you know, at all times. And sometimes it's tough to do that because you kind of get burned doing that kind of thing. But yeah, long-winded answer to that, but to, you know, just leave things better than I found them.
Absolutely. It's one of the most admirable things about a lot of people on Twitch is they just want to do better for the world. And I mean, even if it's just their little small communities, like people just want to do better nowadays. Most of them, I'll say most people, they just want to do better.
Yeah, I mean, there's everybody's kind of going on their own adventure with all this, but it's definitely something I've learned as well. Is, you know, when people are always like, how do you grow as a streamer? How do you be a streamer? What are your tips as a streamer? And I always tell people, and I know it's such a, like, I try to, you know, preface it with like, this is what you hear from everybody, but I'm going to lay into it, is the fact that you need to have fun. You need to be comfortable in what you're doing. You need to find a way to be yourself and own that. Because what you're going to do is you're going to surround yourself with like-minded people that enjoy you for you and enjoy, you know, those that you surround yourself with, because they are like-minded people that are going to have fun the way you have fun and enjoy seeing you have fun, and they're going to be uplifted by that. It's going to be able to help them pull their mind away from whatever is, you know, fucked up in their life. Hopefully for a few minutes. You know, we, you know, as streamers can't help everybody. I'm not always going to have the right words for somebody in a situation, and I do, you know, it's something you know, a little bit of a tangent, but something I have to learn for myself, and I have been learning, and I do recommend to a lot of people, is set boundaries as a streamer too, because you can't answer every DM. You can't be, you know, a therapist to everybody. You can't, you know, coach everybody in every situation in your life. You have to be able to say, you know what, hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate what you're going through, and this community as a whole is here for you. But I might not have the answers for you all the time. But you're always allowed to come here and, you know, take your mind off of things and just be yourself and let loose a little bit, if you need to. So that's kind of the goal. So I definitely, I feel like a lot of streamers, once they find that, they have success in one form or fashion.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, that'll bring us to our very last question, which technically isn't really a question. It's more of it's a plug yo shit thing. So
yeah,
Spike, what are you currently working on? What do you have coming up? Tell us all about it.
Awesome. Well, recently, as we mentioned earlier, but this past Friday, did a charity stream for stackup.org, which is a veteran run charity that is helping support good mental health in veterans through gaming and geek culture and in any way possible, really. And also, just having resources for suicide prevention. They have a STOP program that, an outreach program where you as somebody who needs help, or maybe you can kind of help guide somebody towards help. They have trained advocates that can help people out when they're in a time of need like that, if they're suffering mentally as a veteran, or even anybody else. They do open their doors to anybody that does need help. It is geared a bit more towards veterans of the U.S. and its allies. So that being said, that's something we've been doing for a long time, and I know I'm going to be doing that again later this year. And coming out of that charity stream, a couple of the milestones were to do a Bob Ross stream, painting stream, doing my first ever 24-hour stream. I tried it once about 6 years ago and got about 19 hours in and fell on my face. And also a hot tub stream, which we're going to wrap into that. Those are like 3 milestones that we hit. So those are coming up this month. I think the 11th of July, we're doing the 24-hour stream with a hot tub stream mixed in, which is always a weird, unique experience as a guy on Twitch. It's interesting. Have a lot of fun with it, though. We've done one in the past and get creative with it. And then the 18th of July, we're doing that Bob Ross stream and going to be rocking something I kind of haven't mentioned to most of the community, but I've been talking to the mods about it. I think we're doing our second ever subathon starting August 1st. So we did one back in January, streamed for 6.5 days straight. And it was a wild experience. Like, honestly, one of the weirdest, coolest, craziest experiences I've ever had with streaming, just as far as like waking up to like cup of coffee, eyes are barely open, and just a bunch of people in chat staring at you. Like, you're just like, your whole day is just them watching you sleep, play games, wake up, eat food, exercise, whatever. So we got that coming up, and just in general, streaming Monday through Friday, generally Monday through Friday. I do, I'm taking tomorrow off kind of thing, once in a while I'll let people know, but Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to whenever. Sometimes it's a 6-hour stream, sometimes it's a 13-hour stream. It just depends on the game and the vibe and how much I've been drinking.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets a little rowdy, but that's pretty much what's going on in the near future. So thank you for asking.
Thank you for coming on, and we'll definitely be looking forward to those streams. Anybody that wants to go check them out, please do. That's twitch.tv/justSpike, all lowercase. Go drop them a follow, sub, show them some love. Thank you so much for coming on, Spike. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no worries, Jay. Thank you for having me on, dude. I always enjoy these things.
Oh, man, it's been so much fun, and we'll definitely look forward to those future streams. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Appreciate every single one of you. I hope you all have an amazing day, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.